Pokemon as a franchise has for a long time felt a bit samey. Like, I myself have played 3 different gens of Pokemon games. I played Y, I played Omega Ruby, and I played Sword. And while I enjoyed my experiences with those games, let's not lie and say those weren't the exact same experience just years apart. Pokemon Legends Arceus seems to be that fabled next step for the Pokemon series that many people, me included, have been waiting for. So buckle up, because this is going to be a long one. My name is Gryffiti, and this is my review of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Interestingly, there is not a lot to talk about when it comes to the development of the game, but what has been interesting is seeing how the gaming space has been talking about this game. People either love it or give it a 6 out of 10 saying it's a good game. I'm gonna pretend that makes sense. People seem to be torn on whether there is enough to do in the game. Some people on Twitter say that every corner is a new adventure to seek out a specific Pokemon, and others say there's just wide empty space that makes finding those special moments a bit of a chore. I fall somewhere in the middle, but I'll get to that. What I kinda don't understand is people who praise Breath of the Wild for its wide open world with arguably less to do at every turn, but say this game is completely empty. But at the same time, I kinda see where they're coming from. What I could truly never comprehend is how IGN gave the lazy remakes of Diamond and Pearl a better score than this new experience. But my beef with IGN will have to wait for a future video. With that being said, let's get into the story, and boy, this is gonna be a long section. The game starts out with a voice reaching out to you out of the darkness, of course being the voice of the god Pokemon Arceus. He asks you your name and what you look like, and you are able to choose a character that best suits you or a persona that would be interesting to you. For the purposes of this video, I chose the latter, and thus, Ali was born. Interestingly, this game is essentially an isekai because your character is then dropped into a world completely unfamiliar to them, that world seemingly being the ancient past of the Sinnoh region. Ali is quickly met with Professor Levinton and is tasked with catching his 3 runaway Pokemon because he's too lazy to do it himself, which unfortunately for Ali is a common theme throughout this game. Once you catch those, you get to pick your starter. I chose Rowlet simply because I didn't know that they changed his final evolution to look really dumb. Like, what is this? Seriously. Anyways, you're swept up to join the Galaxy Expedition Team, a team solely dedicated to finding Pokemon, but you quickly find out that the only real member of the team is you, as everyone else just sits on their butts and twiddles their thumbs since you're the only one who can even catch a Pokemon. In context, it makes sense because Ali supposedly comes from the modern Sinnoh region and thus has a lot of experience with Pokemon, but come on, man. Just have everyone practice on Bidoofs. They seemingly want to be caught anyways. Look at them just sitting there. Mercy. As soon as you dropped from the sky, lightning slammed down from the heavens and riled one of the lords of the area. These are special Pokemon that serve either the Diamond Clan or the Pearl Clan. And of course, since you're the only one with the guts to catch Bidoofs, they throw you out in front of a Titan Pokemon with nothing but some food to throw at it. But since Ali is an absolute beast, she makes short work of it and quells the frenzied Pokemon, and thus starts the gameplay loop. Catch Pokemon, quell a Lord. Catch Pokemon, quell a Lord. Each Lord has a Warden, which is kind of like their trainer, which protects and watches over them. All of them are pretty interesting, except for you, and have a lot of dialogue, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. You see, this story is a little convoluted. That is, if you spell a little like this. And what makes it worse is the lack of any voice acting, just dialogue boxes for 20 hours. It's quite the chore if I'm being honest. So, Ali is tasked with quelling the 6 giant lords of the Hisui region. So, she donned her green checkered robe and became the Pokemon Slayer. The tutorial for this game is really long, but once you're out of it, you're free to explore and seek out all Pokemon as Arceus said. All across the Hisui region are creatures called Alpha Pokemon, who are really strong Pokemon who have mastered several of their moves and can wipe your entire team if you're not too careful. But Ali's a beast, so I'm sure she would never run into trouble like that. Alright, so we're about to get into story spoilers, so if you would like to skip, here is the timestamp for that, and you have been warned. After many hours of long work, Allie is able to quell all of the frenzied lords, which causes the apocalypse to start as both Dialga and Palkia are both trying to enter the world through the portal you came through. You can choose to pick either one or the other to fight first and use on your team against the one you didn't pick. And once you defeat them, the game ends and you're sent to the post-game where you must, say it with me, seek out all Pokemon. Now, I've left quite a lot out from what actually happened in Allie's adventure. I hope I told it in a way that seemed interesting because, in all honesty, the story was a complete disaster from the very beginning to the very end. The most infuriating part to me is this commander named Kamado that you report to kicked Allie out of the village for, I don't know, existing when she not only did everything he said, but did everything in general. Her back has got to be aching with how freaking hard she carried the Galaxy team. And then when you're trying to literally save the planet, he challenges you to a Pokemon battle while the very world is ending 10 feet away. Screw him. And then there's Melly. I don't want to talk about Melly. If you end up picking up this game after this review, I want you to understand that I do not want to rob you of the experience of seeing quite possibly the most annoying, terrible, and stupid character I've seen in a very long time. Even Allie, a goddess among humans, was having a hard time being nice to Melly. That's saying something. But yeah, that's the basic gist of everything that happened. Though it was a very dumb story with very dumb decisions, it did not at all hinder my experience with the gameplay. So, let's jump into that. The gameplay is broken up into two sections, the catching of Pokemon and the battling of Pokemon. These two elements work together perfectly to form one fantastic gameplay experience. When catching a Pokemon, you have several approaches to make the catch more likely to be successful. You can throw items like fruit at the Pokemon to change its affinity to you. You can try to sneak behind it and throw a heavy ball which has a higher catch rate from behind, or you could sit back and snipe a Pokemon with long-range feather balls. No matter how you decide to tackle each encounter, it's almost assuredly going to be interesting, engaging, and a good time. If your catch is not successful, you can decide to engage in a Pokemon battle. But these battles are not like normal Pokemon battles. They are fast-paced, dynamic, and you can run around during them, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really changes how the battle feels. Added for this game is a new ability called Styles. There are two styles to choose from. There's a strong style, which boosts your move's power at the cost of speed, and an agile style, which weakens your move but may allow you to attack twice or changes the order of the battle. These two styles, as well as the seemingly boosted strength of weaknesses, means that battles can happen very quickly and whole teams can possibly be wiped by one Pokemon, which is kind of interesting. No more spam healing, except for in a few agonizing cases. The hub world, called Jubilife, has a lot of side quests you can tackle to get rewards or increases to the different vanity shops. Most of these have to do with catching Pokemon, which is perfect since that's likely what you're already doing. After finishing some story missions, you get access to some noble Pokemon, which can make traversing the land a breeze. These are, for lack of a better example, the Rivali's Gale of this game. They are all really useful and of course fun. And that's about it for the gameplay. It's a lot of exploring, searching for new Pokemon, and fighting the bosses and the few trainers scattered around. And now, let's get into the finer details and talk about the things I liked and didn't like. The graphics. Well, the graphics are, not good. Not even like in a stylistic way. It can get really ugly at times. But as I played, this was something that bugged me less and less. When I first started, I couldn't take my eyes off the textures, but I definitely got used to it and it brought a certain charm after a while. Also, for not having great graphics, this game can sure lose a ton of FPS at times, which is truly ridiculous to me. There are a couple of glitches that I didn't encounter, but a lot of others have been encountering. But don't get me wrong, in this case, it's not a bad thing. Every glitch I've seen so far has been hilarious, and I just wish I was lucky enough to be able to experience one. The music is pretty dang good. As you progress through the story, the town's theme begins to become more and more complicated until it's a really peaceful but intricate song that I really like. All the Pokemon look great and have great animations for their new moves that really brings this game to life, as well as the fact that all the Pokemon have their own behavioral patterns that make them feel like unique creatures. Even Bidoof, who is super chill, and in my opinion, the MVP Pokemon of the game. With that being said, let's get into my rating. Pokémon Legends Arceus is a game that many Pokemon fans have been waiting for a very long time. From being able to run around the world and seek out all the Pokemon to battling and dodge rolling from giant nobles, this game is a joy to play. Though the graphics and performance leave much to be desired and the story is a garbled mess, this game makes up for it by giving you the ability to live out your dream of becoming the very first Pokemon master. I give this game an 8.5 out of 10. It is truly a game that I think old and new Pokemon fans should try out and see if they enjoy. Did you play Pokemon Legends Arceus? What did you think about it? Leave a comment telling me what you thought, and I will see you all in the next video. Later! I finally finished this Pokemon video. It's been so long. I've been working on it. I had to write the script while I was recording the audio because I accidentally sent the wrong version to my school studio to record. So I had to rewrite parts of the script while I was saying it. It was very interesting. But anyways, my next video, I'm not actually certain on which game I want to do. There's 2 games I'm working on. Both of them are decently long, so it's kind of whichever I finish first, which means there may not be a video next week. I might take a week off and work on these 2 games simultaneously so I can get 2 videos out in the next 2 weeks after that. The 2 games I'm working on right now is Omori, which is an indie RPG, which is I'm really enjoying it so far, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I was trying to remember that. I was gonna say Jedi Academy, but not that one. Jedi Fallen Order. I'm working on that, and I'm working on both of those games simultaneously, so hopefully I will be able to finish them and get some videos out within the next couple weeks, but it's possible that the next week I will have no video. I might do like a smaller video just to kind of tide you guys over, and so I don't lose my place in the algorithm, you know, because that's how it goes. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this far into the video. Thank you for all your support recently. Thank you for watching my videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.